So, KC, this is the little extra nitpicks that I'm gonna help you out with. So, in here, I already have a project that I'd edited. I'm on an edited timeline. Um, I just have two different versions of the edit for this. But for the one, the one setting that you really need to change is this setting. I believe it's in your preferences. And then you would go into user, I believe, and then sorry, I gotta find out. I don't really remember where it's at. Oh, nope. Sorry, I don't know. Let's see here. General. Oh, so it's in system and general. From you go from your preferences, and then I'm doing use 10-bit precision if viewers, if available. I don't really know if that changes anything, but 10-bit you get more bitrate. Use Mac display color profiles for viewers. That is needed because if you edit on a Mac and you color and you export, the export's gonna look totally different and it's not gonna look right. Ashton, turn the fan off for him. Sorry. And then these are just settings that I have. Another setting is user project save and load. I just have the same backup location automatically set because I'm always going to be working off this hard drive. And I don't really know how to come back into a project from a backup. I just have it just in case, and this is all it is. So we're gonna save those settings, and then another settings that you need. There's a settings button at your bottom right, or you could go into File, Project Settings, which is literally the same thing from pressing the bottom right button. Timeline resolution changes off your needs, but you scroll down. You stay in the master settings. You scroll down. Proxy generation location. You need to change it every single time because it will automatically put it onto your computer's drives, and you will not have any internal storage whatsoever anymore, and it's going to kill it. Cache files, I don't really understand what a cache is. I just think it's helps it access it faster. I also have another folder specifically for that in the same hard drive, same project folder, and gallery stills location. Um, I always set it because in Davinci, you could in Premiere too. They have the same thing. You could take a still from the video. A still is basically just like a photo from the video that you paused it at specifically. Color management. Always use color space, color science, DaVinci Y, RGB because it just gives you the most. Timeline color, Rec 709, and then the output is the same. I've been told to put this because of the Nikon Z9. So I don't ever change it. You might have it different for whatever cameras you use. With Sony's, they use different color spaces. But I think I should honestly have it on the Rec 2020 color space on the timeline because in a node, I don't really know if this matters because in the nodes, I'll show you later, I have different things. Lookup tables, I don't really know. I think you could import LUTs into DaVinci from this. I'm just looking to see if there's anything else I need to tell you from here. I'm going to go back into the settings and preferences from the things I showed you just in case I need to show you anything else. Memory and GPU, I have it set to the max to where it just gives me the max compatibility I have. GPU, just like this. Just have it auto to where it just maxes out everything. I think these are also automatically set some of these at the same time. I didn't really change much of these. Just looking, these are obviously the ones I told you need to change for sure. Backup location, already talked about. Didn't touch any of this, didn't touch that. Playback. Okay, so in the editing, you're gonna need, I don't know how great your Mac is, but I have the M2 Max fully spec'd out. I'm gonna show you a little something. So in here, if you use, I'm gonna turn down my screen capture just a little bit, because I have audio on this timeline. So in here, it's gonna start jumping. You see how it's jumping like this? This clip is in slow motion, right? This clip is in slow motion, and I have a certain setting for when you do slow motion. If you don't have the studio version, don't worry about this, but if you end up getting the studio version, you could go back to this video and watch it. Retime and scaling, retime process, optical flow. It just, it blends the frames together really well. Motion estimation, speed warp better. Scaling fit, resize filter sharper. This is just the best settings that I found. I've watched videos on it. That's what it has. And then in the color page, I downloaded that node tree from that guy that I told you about. I sent you the video that I said this is the best because everything's already labeled. It's very easy to learn. Mine's, if you would look at mine's just a little bit different, but basically the same, because it's already labeled, super easy. Right here, I just have a color space transform, CST, from Rec 2020 Nikon N-Log, just because that's the color space my camera is in. And then I put in Davinci wide and intermediate, just because that's what native to Davinci gives you the most leeway. And then in the last node, the very last node, I have from the Davinci wide and intermediate into Rec 709 and Rec 709A, just because that's really like what everything is in. It's super simple, Rec 709. And then in here, like obviously like balance and exposure, I've changed. I turned it up a bit. I think it's like normally 34. I turned the lift, which is the darks. I turned down the darks, like the blacks, a little bit, just to give you just like a neutral ground zero. And then contrast, I didn't touch its saturation. I go into HDR and turn up the sat in this global window. Turn it up. It starts at 1.00, 1.18. It's pretty good. Sometimes you feel like 1.18, 1.2 is like way too much. Like you're gonna need to like put it down to like 1.2. You might not even touch saturation just off of your other color settings. But if you feel like, man, this color's hitting a lot, like whatever is wrong, you're gonna be confused about it. That's because you have your saturation turned up. I'm looking at my scopes. And then curves, I touched this up. What did I touch? Oh, I turned the reds down because with the saturation and maybe the color sign to my camera and whatnot, it makes these reds. I'm gonna like see if I could zoom in a little bit. I don't know if I could physically move it, but right here by my cursor right here, it would be popping a lot, and it sticks out for some reason, and it's very annoying. So I turned it down, the lightness of it, not the saturation. This is a new tool I just started using, because I found like the reds and all that are very loud when I use it like this. And then all these other nodes, I don't have anything, so they're just there. This scope, I think I sent you a video off of that guy, Darren Moston, if I said his name correctly. He talks about trying to get these as close to the middle as possible. Obviously, like, you're gonna touch it up, it's gonna go out. But these squares, I think is 75% value is what I have them at. I'm not sure. Um, yeah, 75% targets. So like if I'm pushing, like you can see there's a little bit of blue right here that's all the way out here. Um, that's just like try to just keep everything small, and like sometimes you touch something, a setting where it just like destroys it and it's like it just doesn't look great, and then you look at this and you're like, oh, that's why. Like it just helps you like see like how much of what you're affecting, and then you could tell if something's looking is if something's not right just because of like what those colors are. I think this might be, sorry, excuse me, I think this might be all the way out here because of the windows. um I wonder, I could like pop this out, I believe, and it'll show like where in the clip my hand is at. I guess not. Sometimes it'll do it. But it's not working right now, so such is life. Um, close this, I'm gonna put it back in the window. And then when you go to export, so see I have my proxies. Sorry, we're gonna go back to the proxies. See I have proxies enabled. This button right here turns off everything and just shows you where it's at with nothing on it. And then, sorry about that. To create proxies, I go into here in the media page, just Command A, selects everything, and then I just hold down Command, I click certain things like folders, selects like just old timelines, blah blah blah, right click or Command or maybe Option click. I don't know what right click is if you're using a trackpad. It'll say generate proxy media, and then it'll load. If you need to create proxies, sometimes I just don't even work off of them. But those settings where I have like optical flow on it, like this one, it'll just run like terrible, and that's just what I try to get the most out of. So when you go to export, I like to do, everybody says H.264, H.265, whatever. I actually found that when I exported in that, it did not look good whatsoever. So I found exporting in ProRes. I just click ProRes if I'm just posting a social, and then it'll automatically set it. But you need to make sure you click this little option called use constant bitrate. Click it because it'll, when it's rendering out everything, it has the same quality for every frame, and if that's unchecked, some frames might have less quality. Advanced settings, I go to the drop down, click it. Data level is always at full. It'll keep everything. And then that's really the only thing I change. I don't change anything else. Always keep it timeline resolution because it'll be like what you edited to. Now my timeline right here is in 1080p. Just because it's like a quick little social media page post. I don't really need to have my timeline in 4K, and having it in 1080. I shot this in 4K 60 maybe, and it's like this is a 1080p timeline at 24 frames, so I was able to slow some down, able to crop in a little bit on some of these videos, some of these clips, especially using like stabilization, whatnot. And then I'll put a file name, I'll put where I want it to be, where I want the file to be when I'm done rendering. And you press add a render queue, and then it'll pop up over here. You press render all, and it'll render it out. You'll get a loading screen, whatever. And then so I'm gonna show you my file organization. So I'm gonna go Cathedral. So this is just the name, the year, the name, what it's for, video, the year. You could see it right here. So shot in 2024, the 11th month, the 24th day. And so these are all of these that are I'm about to highlight right here. All of these highlighted are just like edits that I have made. And so the documents in the project folder are always going to be there. So this is what it just looks like plain. I just have this saved on my top left, or whatever this is called, just to where I could easily copy and paste it into another folder when I go to make a new project, when I go to import the clips. And so in documents, there's really nothing there. I think that's for like when you do bigger jobs, they have contracts and whatnot, you put that in there. So you double click on the project, it's gonna have After Effects, audio, um, backup, clips, images, LUTs. Um, After Effects is like After Effects saving. If you edit in Premiere, this is like what I have and what I built off of. I don't really use this anymore because I just edit everything in Davinci. I put audio from like Artlist and whatnot in here. Backup is like if I don't have that drive, I'm gonna put that Davinci backup into this folder. Clips is where I put all my clips. I'll just drop it into here, and I'll leave these folders untouched, and that's where these folders come in. For proxy generation, I just put it in the proxies folder. Cache clip, I just put in the cache clip folder because it's just all in the same project. And then images, I'll locate it, put it into this because when you make a still, it'll just go straight to here. And then LUTs, I have this LUTs right here because if you hand off the file to somebody and they're going to use your raw clips and you like, here, I use these LUTs or I want these LUTs applied, you just put the LUTs in the folder and they'll apply it in the project to if they have a color it. That's just what I have set up. Another editing trick, if you find your clips are very noisy, I'll just go into like the spare, that's just like a spare node. And I'll go into one of these. I think it's this. Nope, I lied. Oh, it's right here. This motion effects. I do. This is just a noise reduction, and this is like. This will also kill the like. You won't be able to view it after until you render it out. I have the mode on ultra noise reduction, and all you do is click analyze. It'll analyze the footage. It'll put a square wherever it finds the most noise in it, and it honestly changes the footage so much if you have a lot of noise reduction. If you have a lot of noise in it and you need noise reduction, use that. I don't know if it's in the free version. This is the studio version, the paid version. That's just what I found best for what I've been doing, what I've been using it on, and yeah, that's about it. These nodes are explained in that video I sent you to download. He had an extra node with a Kodak film emulation on it. I didn't really like it for some of the stuff, so I just deleted the node. So it's not there anymore. And that's about it. So if you have any questions, you could text me about it. And yeah.